And now, my Immortal. Chapter 7. Bring me to life. Wow, Claire, Tara, pretty classy. You actually give a title for your chapter. Well, as always, we begin with the author's note. Author's note. Well, okay, guys, I'm only written this because I got 5 God vows. In bitter, I won't write the next chapter till I get 10 God vans. Stars flaming or a report. Ebony isn't Mary Sue, okay? She isn't perfect. She's a satin hit! And she has problems. She's depressed, for God's sake. XXXXXXX 666 XXXZ XXXXXXX. Draco and I held our pale white hands with black nail polish as we went upstairs. I was wearing red Satanist signs on my nails and red nail polish. Author's note. See, doesn't that sound like a Mary Sue to you? Well, yeah, it sort of does sound like. Reader's note. That does sound like a Mary Sue to me. Back to the story. I waved to Vampire. Dark misery was in his depressed eyes. I guess he was jealous of me that I was going out with Draco. Well, yeah, he was jealous, but not because of Ebony, but because of Draco, but more on that in a later chapter. Anyway, I went upstairs excitedly with Draco. We went into his room and locked the door. Then, we started Frenching passively, and we took off each other's clothes enthusiastically. He felt me up before I took off my top. Then I took off my black leather bra, and he took off his pants. We went on the bed and started making out naked, and then he put his boy's thingy in mine, and we had sex! See, is that stupid? Okay. Reader's note. He put his boy thingy in mine? How the hell does that even work? Okay, back to the story. Oh, Draco! I screamed while getting an orgasm, when all of a sudden I saw a tattoo I had never seen before on Draco's arm. It was a black heart with an arrow through it. On it, in bloody gothic writing, were the words, Vampire. I was so angry. I may be a vampire myself, but seeing that word enraged me. You bastard! I shouted angrily, jumping out of the bed. No, but you don't understand, Draco pleaded, but I knew too much. No, you fucking idiot! I shouted. You probably have AIDS anyway! I put on my clothes all huffily, and then I stomped out. Draco ran out, even though he was naked. He had a really big you-know-what, but I was too mad to care. I stomped out and did so until I was in Vampire's classroom, where he was having some private lessons with Professor Snape. Vampire Potter, you motherfucker! I yelled. Chapter 8. Author's note. Stop flossing, okay? If you do, then you're a prep. XXXXX 666 XXX. Slightly less X's. Everyone in the class stared at me, and then Draco came into the room, even though he was naked, and started begging me to take him back. Ebony, it's not what you think, Draco screamed sadly. My friend Bloody Mary smiled at me understatedly. She flipped her long waist-length gothic black hair and opened her crimson eyes like blood that she was wearing contact lenses on. She had pale white skin that she was wearing white makeup on. Hermione was kidnapped when she was born. Her real parents are vampires, and one of them is a witch, but Voldemort killed her brother, and her father committed suicide because he was depressed about it. She still has nightmares about it, and she is very haunted and depressed. It also turns out that her real last name happens to be Smith, not Granger. She has converted to Satanism, so now she's in Slytherin, not Gryffindor. As you know, Gryffindor is really an extension of the Catholic Church, so they don't tolerate any of that shit. What is it that you desire, you ridiculous dimwit? Snape demeaned angrily in his cold voice. but I ignored him. Vampire, I can't believe you cheated on me with Draco! I shouted. Everyone gasped. I don't know. Okay, I think this part is now in Draco's point of view, so I'm gonna read it in his voice. I don't know why Ebony was so mad at me. I had went out with Vampire. I'm bi, and so was Ebony. For a while, but then he broke my heart. He dumped me because he liked Brittany, a stupid preppy fucker. We're just good friends now. He'd gone through horrible problems, and that made him become gothic. Ha ha ha, like I would hang out with a prep. But I'm not going out with Draco anymore, said Vampire. Yeah, fucking right! Fuck off, you bastard! I screamed. I ran out of the room crying and into the forbidden forest where I had lost my virility to Draco. And then I started to burst into tears. Chapter 9. Author's note. Stop flamming, okay? I didn't read all the books. This is from the movie, okay? So it's not my fault if Dumbledore swears. Besides, I said he had a headache! And the reason Snap don't like Harry now is cause he's Christian and Vampire is a Satanist. NCR rocks! XXXXX 666 XXX. I was so mad and sad. I couldn't believe Draco for cheating on me. I began to cry against the tree where I did it with Draco. Then, all of a suddenly, an horrible man with red eyes and no nose and everything started flying towards me on a broomstick. He didn't have a nose. Basically like Voldemort in the movie. And he was wearing all black. But it was obvious he wasn't gothic. It was Voldemort. No! I shouted in a scared voice. But then Voldemort shouted, Imperious! And I couldn't run away. Crookshanks! I shouted at him, even though Crookshanks isn't a spell. Voldemort fell off his broom and started to scream. I felt bad for him, even though I'm a sadist, so I stopped. Ebony! He yelled. Thou must kill Vampire Potter! I thought about Vampire, and his sexy eyes, and his gothic black hair, and how his face looks just like Joe Madden. I remember that Draco had said I didn't understand, so I thought, what if Draco went out with Vampire before I went out with him, and they broke up? No, Voldemort, I shouted back. Voldemort gave me a gun. No, please, I begged. Thou must, he yelled. If thou does not, then I shall kill thy beloved Draco. How did you know? I asked in a surprised way. Suddenly, Voldemort got a, dude, you're so retarded look on his face. I, have telekinesis? He answered cruelly. And if thou doth not kill Vampire, then thou will know what will happen to Draco, he shouted. Then he flew away angrily on his broomstick. I was so scared and mad, I didn't know what to do. Suddenly Draco came into the woods. Draco, I said. Hi. Hi. He said back, but his face was all sad. He was wearing white foundation and messy eyeliner, kind of like a pentagram. Get it? Between Joel Madden and Gerard Way. Are you okay? I asked. No, he answered. I'm sorry I got all mad at you, but I thought you cheated on me, I expelled. Expelled? That's okay, he said, all depressed, and we went back into Hogwarts together, making out.